Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Dever, and thank you for joining us this afternoon here at the Miller Electric Center as we welcome the newest Jacksonville Jaguar, Travis Hunter, back to his home state of Florida. So let's do just that. James, I believe you have some opening remarks to make here.
Yeah, as we sit here, Travis Hunter is a Jacksonville Jaguar, and really what comes to mind for me, right, thinking about the sport of football and really the power of the game itself, right, its capacity to ignite belief, right, belief in ourselves, belief in others, right, belief in achieving what many may deem impossible. Travis Hunter, he embodies belief, right, he's a rare person. He's a rare player, but he's also a reminder that the boundaries of the game of football were built to be challenged. And so the decision to select him was actually a statement for how we plan to move, who we are, and we want him to be nothing more than him. Because when he is, he elevates the space around him. From the football field to the city, to the game of football itself, Travis Hunter is who we've been hunting up. Couldn't be more jacked to be sitting right here beside him and introduce you all to the man of the hour.
Thank you, James. As we get into the Q&A here with the media, please direct your questions to Liam, James, or Travis, and identify yourselves, and we can begin the learning process. Also mention your affiliation, too, if you could. And so let's begin. Who's got the first question? Let's go with Mark.
This is for Travis. Mark Long with the Associated Press. How'd you get to football?
How I get the football?
How'd you get the football?
Walked in the building and took it from Coach.
You took it from him?
Yeah, he was over there playing with the football. I was like, let me hold that.
So you've had it for how long now?
Since I walked in the building.
Okay. So what's it been, a whirlwind last night, today? What's kind of take us through what the last 12 hours, 15 hours been like?
It's been exciting. I normally go to sleep on planes, but I stayed up the whole time just looking out the window.
Why so?
Why? Just excited to get here, be able to come back home and, be able to, get to work.
Gene?
Travis, Gene Fournette from the Times-Union. Everybody, regurgitates all your stats, receiving yards, interceptions, all that stuff. What probably a lot of people don't realize is that you're a 4.0 student, and there's not many high-end first-round draft picks that have that kind of GPA. So I'm wondering, I'm assuming you've been a very good student for a very long time. Where does that mindset come from? Is it a matter of just feeling like that's a challenge just like a game, or is it a mindset that was sort of passed on to you from a family member about the importance of being well-rounded?
It's just a mindset of trying to be the best at everything I do. I don't want nobody to do or have a step ahead of me, so I just want to be the best at everything. That's including work. I hope I can go back and walk the stage May 8th.
Let's go to Demetrius. Demetrius?
For Travis, Demetrius Harvey with the Florida Times-Union. We've heard you talk about a lot of coaches that have helped you in the past, obviously Coach Prime and your coaches over at Colorado, JSU, but, talk about Coach Drew Johnson. Just what was he able to do for you, sort of laying the foundation for you as a player? He
helped me out a lot. I got my footwork right. It was really, you didn't have to put the dog in me. I was born with it in me. So he got my footwork right. And, he just helped me out a lot with my footwork and how to understand the game.
And you've talked about this a lot, how much you love your family, how much you want to be with them and help them and do anything you can. Just, how have you been, how has it been with your family during these times? How have they sort of motivated you to help you get here where you are today?
I have my little brother. He motivates me because he's trying to, be better than me. So I got to set the bar high.
Let's go to John and then Mia.
Hey, for Travis, John Shipley with On That Side. Travis, just what does it mean to you seeing, a team have that kind of commitment and faith to go up and get you and do what they have to do and have you be their guy the whole process?
I mean, it gives me a sense of they believe in me. You know, they trust in everything that I've done this far. So I just got to go out there and prove them right.
For Travis, Mia O'Brien, 1010XL. Great to meet you in person.
Yes, ma'am.
Favorite class you took at Colorado or Jackson State?
Favorite class? I couldn't really tell you I have a favorite class because I just got the work done. But
You have like a favorite subject, like growing up, or?
my favorite subject growing up was math. I'm super good at math, but not really. I don't have a really favorite class or favorite subject.
Okay, one more on the school front. For you, walk us through this idea of you were born in West Palm Beach.
Mm-hmm.
You were once upon a time almost going to go to Florida State. To come back to Florida, is there this sense of maybe destiny? And what have the emotions of specifically coming here meant to you in the last 24 hours?
It meant that I can fish year-round. It's hot here, and I get to see family all the time.
Too big?
Hi, Travis. Tony Wiggins with Locked On Jaguars. I'm going to give you a hypothetical real quick because of your competitiveness. It's 4th and 7. You break the huddle, it's one-on-one, and Travis Hunter, the wide receiver, sees Travis Hunter, the corner, across from him, and the ball's coming your way. Which one of y'all comes down with it?
Travis Hunter.
Really good answer. All right, Brent.
It's a correct answer. Brent Martineau from CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Shacks. Travis, you changed or helped change Jackson State. Put them on the map. Colorado helped change. How can you help change Jacksonville and the trajectory of this organization?
I'm going to just say I'm going to come out and do my job. I'm not going to say I'm going to change anything. I don't want to set the expectation too high. So I'm going to just come in and do my job, and hopefully we change the atmosphere.
I'll give you another hypothetical. What's it like having Brian Thomas Jr. on one side of the field and you on the other side of the field? How would you defend that as a defensive coordinator or a cornerback?
I'm not going to let them know how to defend that, so I can tell you.
Let's go behind Alessandra, and then we'll work our way down. All right, let's go, D-Rock. Just go. Yeah.
Sorry, Mike Draco with ESPN. Travis, what do you think about what James said a few minutes ago about you being not only draft pick, all that, but a statement for this franchise and the rest of the league?
What I think about it was a great choice. I just got to come do my job.
Hayes?
Hey, Travis, congratulations. Hayes Carline with 1010XL. Brian Thomas Jr. had such an amazing rookie season. How much can you learn from him, and have you gotten a chance to talk to him yet? And how big will he be in your development in terms of getting some advice from him on how he was able to really get acclimated to the NFL so quickly?
He will be big for me. You know, he did a great job his rookie season. I got a lot to improve in. I'll improve on it myself, so I'm gonna ask him a lot of questions. You probably get annoyed because I'm asked so much questions, but I want to be the best. I want to be better than him, so I'm gonna try to soak up all the knowledge that he allows me to take from him.
Travis, congratulations. I'm Alessandra Pompery with News for Jax. Last night, James said that you're one of the few players that can actually change the sport itself. So I'm wondering what you think when you hear your new GM say that.
It's a blessing, but I still got to do my job.
And have you been able to talk to or meet any of the other Jaguars players?
Yeah, I talked to Trevor Lawrence.
What did you guys talk about? Can you share that?
He's just ready to work, so.
Straight back.
Travis, Will Brown, Jacksonville Today, WJCT Public Media. You've been in Jacksonville before. When Jackson State came here against Cookman in 22, you were a freshman on that team. I presume that was one of the first times you had a chance to be in an NFL stadium. Mm-hmm. What was it like to, even though you didn't play in that game, what was it like to be in this atmosphere, be in Jacksonville? And I think there's a video floating around social that said you could envision yourself being here. So describe being able to envision something and making it come to pass.
It's just a blessing, you know, to see it come full circle. It's been 3 years since I said that, so I'm just happy to be here and be able to walk on the field again.
Mia?
One follow-up, Travis, referencing your time in Colorado, 4-win season. That first season you were out in Boulder. Obviously the Jaguars just won 4 games. What did you learn about yourself during that season, and what did you share with your teammates that maybe you can bring here to Jacksonville?
Just got to lock in more. You know, got to be willing to put in extra work, and that's what we did to, you know, bring everybody together, and we won a lot more games by doing it.
We're going to go back one, Brett.
I've heard you say a couple of times now, Travis, do your job. Just do your job. What does that look like? What does that mean? What is your job?
My job is to come out and be Travis Hunter, come out and play how they envision me to play, and exceed all their expectations.
Liam, speaking of envisioning, now that this became official last night, I'm sure you've conjured up some things in your mind for the last couple of months or couple of weeks, whatever it is. But how much is your mind moving over the last 12, 15 hours of what you can do on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, the offensive mind, and you start to get extremely excited, right? And then you have to switch back to being, hey, I'm a head football coach, and we know that he's going to be able to do both. We feel that in our bones. We're going to set that up that way from a schedule, from an operation standpoint, the way that we're going to operate for him, to set him up to have the most success that he can, to in fact then help the Jacksonville Jaguars become the best version of ourselves. And that's been something we've been excited about talking through for the last month, and to meet him here again in person today and be around him only just validates that.
D-Rock, then Gene.
Liam, I'm assuming there's going to be that inevitable tug of war between you and Coach Camp about getting him as much as possible. Does the head coach automatically win that? Have you guys sort of like talked that through yet already, or no?
We have. We've had those conversations, and we have to be fluid. We kind of mentioned this last night in terms of from a scheduling standpoint, all those things. We have it laid out, but we also have to have the ability to be agile and be fluid on specific days. If we didn't feel like you got enough work on one side of the ball the previous day, then we need to be able to move forward and get them those reps the next day. So, I think both Camp and I and Grant are all on the same page about, hey, how is this thing going to work? What do we want it to look like? Well, we want it to look like what it looked like at Colorado. And that would be pretty good for us.
Gene, please.
Travis, obviously coming into the NFL, just that in itself is enough motivation for you to do your best. I'm wondering, is there any extra motivation because the Jaguars sacrificed a lot of draft capital just to move up 3 spots to get you?
Yeah. It's definitely a lot of motivation. They sacrificed a lot to get me. That means they believe in me, and that just validates that I need to go ahead and just do my job.
Travis, you mentioned last night that you were house hunting, that you looked. Did you find something already?
No, I'm still looking, but I found a couple houses.
And what does it look? What does the rest of this weekend or next week look like for you in terms of getting acclimated and adjusted and settled?
I'll probably just grab the playbook, get my boats shipped down here, and get on the water.
And then, James, you guys talked about getting sports science involved. Does that can you give a rookie extra time if he's going to play 100 snaps? Do you give him extra rest during the week to get him ready for the next 100 snaps? How does that work?
Yeah, there's a lot of layers to that. Certainly, we have to operate within all measures in compliance with league mandates. But at the same time, there's a certain level of recovery and preparation in order to take on the workload that he's about to sort of take on. And I can say, right, I think the first question came from Gene today around the football, right? I think it was you.
Yeah,
okay.
It was you. Yeah.
Just don't mix the two of you guys again. You may have. I don't know who it was that asked about the ball. It sure is. But I don't know who it was that asked about the football last night. But it didn't take long for Travis to produce his first takeaway, right? So it's gonna be a fun go if that's what we see here on the horizon. But again, it's got a lot of layers to the sports science front and making sure that we're operating on all cylinders.
Justin.
Travis, last night James talked about being bold and having confidence and kind of lacking fear and not letting that, mold his life. I wanted to ask you about your confidence coming in. You said you want to play both ways. They want you to play both ways. Where did that confidence come from, and how long did it take you to kind of develop it?
I kind of developed my confidence at a young age. I started playing football when I was 4. I had older cousins, so they used to bully me, and I was the youngest out there playing football with them. So I had to get that confidence. I'm not going to let y'all bully me and push me around. So that's just how I go about life. I'm not going to let anybody push me around and tell me what I can't do. I'm just go out and show them.
Okay, we're going to do a couple more. Let's go down to Hayes if we can with that mic, please.
James, you mentioned something last night that Travis asked some really good questions that showed his football curiosity. Can you give us some details on kind of those conversations?
Yeah, the details around them, I don't know that are top of mind, but I do know the sensation that you get when you experience somebody who has a growth mindset and you see it unfold in front of you. And the way in which that Travis was going about that conversation was certainly something that sparked, a little bit of an alarm that was, he's somebody who wants to learn. And he's interested in getting more information and knowing that he doesn't have every answer. And that's something that we talked about a little bit more today. And the more experience that you get, the harder it becomes to remain curious. And so keeping that curiosity at the surface of your mind so that that's not something you ever lose, knowing that there's always means of improving.
James, are you guys trying not to put a number from a snap standpoint, or do you guys have a number in mind that he could handle?
I haven't scoped out a number specifically. I think we're going to get through this initial onboarding window here throughout the off-season program and see where we end up by the end of that before ever coming to some concrete count there.
Travis, it sounds like, or it seems like from the outside looking in, you're such a gifted athlete that things have come so easy for you. Do you expect that to be the case at the NFL level? And if not, how do you balance all the successes with, some ups and downs and adversity that could hit?
I don't think anything comes easy to me. I got to work for it. I had to work to play both sides of the ball, even being with Coach Prime. Y'all just happen to see the perfect end. But I did a lot of work to get to where I'm at. So I'm gonna continue to put in the work and continue to grind, and I'm gonna just continue to do what I do.
Are you getting married next month?
Yes.
What's all of that like compared to all of this that's going on right now?
I kind of just, let my fiance handle that. And I just, go to work.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up with two quickies, John and then Gene, and then we're going to cut.
James, you mentioned last night just the energy Travis brings to any space that he's in. Is that something you're already sensing kind of inside the facility, inside the fan base, community, et cetera?
You know what? I don't think it takes much to see that Travis has gravitational pull. He's got a smile that'll light up a room, and yeah, there it is. Let it shine. But it is certainly something that most everybody that I've come in contact with who has experienced a session with Travis says very similar things.
And Gene?
For Liam and also
Microphone.
James. I'm sorry. If you both care to address this, both of you have come from the NFC, so you probably don't pay as much attention to the AFC teams when you're working in the NFC. The AFC South has not been regarded as a very tough division in recent years. How much do you think the investments all four teams have made in quarterbacks might change that trajectory in the next 2, 3, 5 years?
Yeah, it definitely could. I mean, you can see there's been a tangible investment in that position in this division. Whether that leads to a little bit more of the known passing situations, getting the ball in the air a little bit more. But for us, it's more, okay, how do we continue to be explosive on the offensive side of the ball for us, and then also get people that can take the ball away from the other team on defense. And in this league, you have to get takeaways. And to affect the quarterbacks that are in this league now, you have to be able to rush them, and you have to be able to get your hands on the football. So we're excited about that opportunity.
Real quick, Travis, did you play any other sports in high school beyond football? And could you give us your wedding date?
My wedding is private. But I did play basketball. When I first moved to Georgia, I played basketball my 8th grade through high school.
Thank you.
Okay, let's put the wrap on the Q&A right there. Before we adjourn, I'd like to acknowledge and thank Jacksonville Mayor Donna Deegan for being with us here and helping to welcome Travis and his family and friends to Duval. So thank you, Mayor, for being here today. And at this stage, we're going to clear the stage, and so we can make it official with the jersey presentations. Just hang with us here for a moment, and we'll spring to action on that, okay? Don't trip on me. Stay up there, stay up there, stay up there. Okay, gotcha. You can toss it in here if you want.
All right, Travis, here we go. Welcome to Jacksonville. We got the 12. Good. #2 pick. Come on, man. Yeah, you come sit next to me. What'd you say? No, so you got 12. I'll talk to you. What we got? Right away. Hey. Time to go ball out now.